Here's why it sucks to be the golden child. At 9 years old, I realized my parents loved my little sister more than me. That Christmas, all the gifts were wrapped in beautiful colors, sparkles and ribbons, with tags written in cursive by my parents. But when I looked at the last gift, I realized every single gift was for me. "Where's Lily's gifts?" I asked. My parents pointed to a big black bin bag. Lily started to sniffle and tried holding back her tears. Inside, there was an envelope, neatly folded, with instructions on how she needed to improve her grades. Well, 9-year-old me wasn't having it. "Mommy, this isn't fair. Lily deserves a real gift." "Shut the F up," she cut me off. Meanwhile, my dad started yelling at the top of his voice, "Don't tell me how I should raise my kids." But as soon as they weren't looking, I hugged her, and we spent the entire morning secretly playing with my new toys together. This set the tone for the rest of our childhood. To my parents, Lily was the definition of a disappointment. So even when she did things like forget to do her chores or accidentally sleep in on the weekend, they never let it slide. My dad would either force us all to completely ignore her for 48 hours straight, or she'd only be given dry toast to eat for the whole week. All rules which I, of course, broke when they weren't looking. So when she turned 15 and got a boyfriend, I didn't tell anyone because I was the only one she trusted and there was no way I was breaking that. But one night, she came to my door crying her eyes out, and that's when she took out an easy-at-home pregnancy stick with double lines. My mind jumped into problem-solving mode. I told her we could live with our aunt for a while, that I'd tell my parents I was the one who was pregnant. I knew she didn't understand what my plan was, but I didn't care because she was safe and that's all that mattered. She slept in my bed, and the next morning I woke my parents up, pinching myself to fake cry. "Mom, Dad, I'm pregnant!" My dad looked like he wanted to lay hands on me, but then looked at my stomach and decided against it. "I effing told you Lily would be a bad influence on her," was the first thing my mom said. "We'll be out of your hair in a few hours. We're gonna stay with Auntie Lisa until—" "Damn right you are," my dad said. I retreated to the bedroom, and me and Lily tried to pack up our things as fast as we could before ordering an Uber. In the car, when Lily cried, I noticed barcode marks all along her wrist. My chest tightened, but I just stayed silent, not saying anything. Unfortunately, I couldn't get her to stop crying by the time we arrived, and we were forced to tell Aunt Lisa everything. But instead of screaming at us or telling our parents, she gave us a hug, told us she understood, that she knew our parents were crazy, and that it was only a matter of time before we turned to her for help. I smiled, and in that moment, I knew I had done good for my sister. In the next 2 weeks, Lily had a successful baby unalive, and Auntie Lisa managed to convince our parents to let us come home. That's when something I never expected to happen happened. Lily was the new golden child. The entire wall of photos that used to feature our family was now filled with pictures of Lily that I had never even seen before. And for dinner, I was the one getting the borderline expired food no one wanted, while Lily got freshly cooked meals. Honestly, the whole thing made me smile, because all I wanted was for Lily to experience some sort of loving family, even if it was at my expense. But Lily betrayed me. Whenever they were talking about how filthy and unpure I was for getting pregnant, she'd join in. "It's weird how I'm the younger one, yet I'm the one who's more responsible," she'd say with a laugh. At first I let it slide because I thought she was just covering her tracks. But then came Thanksgiving. The entire family was over, and she clinked her water glass with a fork. "I just want to thank my parents for making sure I turned out so responsible and smart, because the last thing I'd want is to end up like Laura over here," pointing to me. The entire crowd snickered, and she kept going. "I mean, I can't imagine putting your whole life on the line just because you couldn't keep your legs closed." My mom was laughing so hard the champagne nearly came out of her nose. I was about to chime in, but my dad said through gritted teeth at a volume only I could hear, "Don't even think about it." So I just gulped and stayed silent. As the house cleared out, everyone congratulated my parents on what an excellent job they did at raising Lily, as if I hadn't been the one to raise her. So I decided to play the long game. And a few days later, the doorbell finally rang. It was CPS. You see, I had made an anonymous report on everything my parents had ever done to Lily. So when it was time for my interview, I laid it all out for them. No truth was left untold. I was hoping they'd take Lily, or me, away, but instead they just left and said they'd be back for a surprise home visit. As soon as the door closed, I found out my parents had heard everything I said. What they did next is something I still get nightmares about. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.